What's up, guys? This is special report. My bad. This is the other morning show. Thank God I don't have no listeners right now. This is the other morning show. I have CI in the house. Yeah. We're just sitting back, chopping it up, drinking.
Right. That's how we do it on the Friday, the other morning show.
You know it. So, hold on. I'm gonna, you know what? I like that better. Shout out the old Christmas tree. There you go. Or, I don't know. We're trying to make a fucking camera that's like totally about. It's like I need to put this motherfucker in my mouth. You know what? I'm here, guys. I'm sitting back and fuck it. We'll just have Cobra in the fucking tree. Because I'm tired. Because I can't. And I'll be like, hey, guys, I'm here. Hold on 1 second. I have to, there we go. I got hold on. Make sure the microphone's working here. All right, Cobra. We got microphones working. We got one viewer out there somewhere in the world. Hold on, let's try to break. There we go. You can at least see half my face. So you know I'm here and he's not talking to himself. So 211 will be my stand-in. But like, hey, how you doing, Cobra? I'm just American man, you know. So what we want to talk about today, lost my one viewer. What we're talking about today is we were talking about Trump and I gotta call him back. Okay, talk about Trump. You know what? Hold on. I know this is unorthodox as always, but let's call Jason Nichols, Dr. Nichols. I know this is weird, you know, and I probably shouldn't, like, you know, maybe contact people prior to, like, live broadcasts, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta say fuck it and just go with it because it feels like, that's what you're supposed to be doing. I don't understand when. Okay. Hold on 1 second. So what's been going on, brother?
Same old thing, bro. Just a different day. Staying educated in this crazy mud ball that we live on. I call it the mud ball.
It is the mud ball. The big ass sloppy mud ball.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll pick up. But he might not. Bet you the word's out. You get a call from this number on Friday night, don't pick it up. Okay, hold on. Okay. I'm going to try one other cat. It's not that we don't have enough to talk about. We actually do. I'm just doing this because it's just a cool thing to do. You know, you've seen Brother Ron's work, so, you know, he's cool. He's totally in line. You know what I'm saying? All right, you know what? I would call Dimebag, but I already know what he's up to and doing. So, you know, I mean, look. Do you really want Pence? Let me ask you a question. Do you want Pence as the president of the United States, Michael Pence?
No. I think it's, I mean, how people looked at the 2016 election when it was between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. A lot of people said, well, we're voting for the lesser of two evils. And that's how
but you still get evil.
I still look at Mike Pence as, you know, because, you know, what's really funny is like, a lot of the Republicans wasn't on board with Trump at first. They were like, oh, he's not a traditional Republican, conservative, yada yada yada. But if you notice, once he started weeding out people like Jeb Bush and Little Marco and Lion Ted, all these names that he was calling people.
Isn't that King Cruz? Ted Cruz? Then he thought he was supposed to be the king.
And it's like, so they just, I felt like they just, at the end, they just rallied up behind Trump because they knew that he brought in a lot of money and a lot of connects with people. But now maybe they are kind of sorry that they, supported Trump, because with this whole Russia thing, because what Mueller's going to find out is there's going to be a lot more members of Congress who are cooperating with a foreign government, which to me, that is treason. Now, we all know what they used to do back in the day with treason.
Right.
They give you a cigarette, blindfold, and put you in front of a firing squad.
Or hang you from a tree.
But we won't see the level of that, those measures used in today's time. But I just feel like Pence would be a disaster
but now,
to America.
How do you really feel, seriously, about Mueller wasting his time with the Russian collusion when there's nothing there to support Russian collusion? I mean, I get it that he's an unpopular president, all right? But how do we justify hounding him like this when we could be focusing on who has given China more technology, who has sold Russia technology, and get those motherfuckers out that's really threatening our lives?
Well, I think, I believe that, like I said, Trump now is a pawn. They no longer need him. He's expendable now.
Exactly.
And his time is running short. It's running up, and I feel that you can only go through life. I mean, the history. It's so baffling to me that on the average American, they do background checks, say if you want to buy a house or for a job, or
if you want to be a janitor at a
something
school
like that. They do criminal background checks on you. But they knew about this cat dealing with Russia since 1987, not paying undocumented workers at Trump Tower, Mar-a-Lago, the fact that he's cost $73 million just to play golf, being racist, saying that he didn't want to rent out to black folks in New York, ripping people off, degrading women, talking about people. The time is now. With all those years that you got over on people, threw people under the bus, and now we're seeing something that was unfold. But what he made a mistake at is he never should have announced that he was running for president, because now everything leaves a trail. Like I said, the federal government is the most powerful group of people in the world, where they have the technology. They're like, 20 years ago, you were still in high school. 25 years ago, you was in college. They can keep track of what your timeline was, what you were doing every time, from the time that you were born to where you're at right now.
Right.
So now we are seeing the greatest organized crime in American history, conspiracy. Now you had the mob and all of them, but that was during like Prohibition.
They're still cracking today.
They were trying to establish their stuff here, but now, even with Watergate, it's not like Russia collusion. You know what I'm saying? It's totally two different things, but it's a scar that is on the country. Yes, if you take out what they did to us and the Mexican people, the Muslim people, the Native Americans, the list goes on and on. But this is a permanent scar on America, because look what it's done to us. These last 2 years, all of this investigation is dragging us down. It's dragging us down. More people don't believe it. A lot of people are talking about it. Some people don't talk about it, because the one thing that Trump was able to do was manipulate the media. He was able to do the same thing that Hitler did. Hitler, the thing is when...
But Hitler actually spoke true. When Hitler was coming up, he kept on, yes, he had the anti-so-called Semite rhetoric, but he kept on talking about issues pertaining to the economy, saying that the economy is going to collapse, saying that there's a global banking force that was driven by the Jews that seeks to enslave all humanity. And then when the Great Depression came through, all of his words to the average ring true. You know, this dude was sitting here in the beer halls talking about this shit. Now it comes to fruition. Drag his monkey ass out of jail. And he was another world leader they dragged out of jail. Well, he has since passed. But Mandela, he was a political prisoner. Well, for like 27 years. But Hitler was only in there for like, I think 4 or 5. But they dragged his ass out. He went right to the top of the echelon of power. But what most people fail to realize, he was actually an agent of the German government, the army. He was actually an agent of the army sent in to basically control this group of people that was forming and report back. But instead of reporting back, he twisted up and became the leader of the motherfucker and ran the son of a bitch into the ground.
Right.
So really, he did a good service, because if it wasn't for his incompetence, the Nazi war machine might have actually succeeded. Mm-hmm. You know, that's why anyone talking about going back in time and killing baby Hitler is a fool. The guy failed. Why would you want to take the failure out? Let the failure, you know, of course, you know, a lot of people died during his failing, but let the failure fail.
Actually, he didn't die. I mean, he might have died physically, but his ideology and his theories is still
alive. But that was
alive.
never his ideology or his theory. He learned that from others. Who is the true author of said ideology and theories of white supremacy and white dominance?
The Jews?
Not the Jews. It's white folks. It was rich white folks that understood that if these peasant white folks banded with non-quote-unquote white folks, they would be a threat to their power. That's the rhetoric that is being proliferated. Look, there's 2 types of white folks out there, seriously, straight up. It doesn't break down to racism or none of that. There's a white boy that's out there, he's just cool. He doesn't, you know, get the bigger picture. He doesn't even see his role in the picture. He doesn't understand his privilege within the picture. He's just doing his thing. Just a chill human fucking being doing his thing. Then there's the other white boy. He's consciously aware of the bigger picture. He understands his role in the picture. And more importantly, he wants to keep the power that he perceives himself to have in the bigger picture. That's the dude that will fucking put fluoride in your water. That's the dude that will fucking spray fucking chemtrails in your air. That's the dude that will fucking subvert the United States Congress to give him the power to fucking print all the money for the nation. That's the dude.
Right.
The average white boy that gets blamed for that dude's behavior is a cat that couldn't change your situation where he wanted to or not. You know,
well, sometimes I think it, you know, it puts them in a difficult position. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like sometimes like the ones that have a blind eye.
Oh, we recording with a toaster. What, is the sound quality fucked up? 100 murders. Hold on. Make sure this is plugged in. I'm saying the barcodes. I don't know. No, the camera angle. I mean, I'm here. Yep, but the camera angle is all, you know, I can try to, like, tighten her up, I guess. It's a little blurry. But that's like, yeah, it's still blurry. You know, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, hopefully the sound quality is good. But I think the issue that we're dealing with here, you know, once again, it goes back to resource distribution. All right. Nobody will be bitching or moaning or complaining if everyone had a home, food, expendable cash, and some sort of savings to fall back on a rainy day. Nobody fucking come out their fucking zone.
No.
But many of us don't have these things, these tools. And that's all they are. They're just tools. You are the worker. You are the labor. With whatever tools you're given, that's what you can build with. All right? Well, this is how it works. Let's say, you know, I'm just being totally stereotypical here. Black guy. Tools you're born into. More than likely a spatula or a mop bucket. You know, that's what it is. Mexican guy. Tools that you're born into, you know, typically. I'm not talking about the exceptions, the immaculate percentage. We're just talking about the average.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a weed eater and a lawnmower. That's just what it is. Asian feller, typical. You know, the tools that's just gonna be given to you. It's gonna be a calculator and a motherfucking 5 key or 14 key to fucking type up some fucking receipts. You know, white boy. The tools that's gonna be given to you is a legacy of dominance, a fucking trust fund perhaps, and some other goodies. You know what I'm saying? Those are the basic things that most people are dealing with. And most people who are smart understands, you ever heard that phrase, fake it till you make it?
Mm-hmm.
That only works on naive individuals.
Yep.
All right. Real motherfuckers gonna see your fake ass come with your, gold anodized chains and your fake ass rings and shit. They're gonna see that. They're gonna know that you're just a fucking retard.
Yeah.
They're gonna play cool with you. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe we compliment your shit. Oh, I like that ring. How much? That's not. Oh, I got this. Here's the lie. I got this at an auction or whatever. And they know it's a fucking joke. But the reality is this: if we continue down this road, and the road I'm talking about is the road of degradation, the road of debasing. In other words, take your industry, for instance, right? It's being gentrified, all right? It won't probably be unheard of in the next 7 to 10 years. All the top rappers will be white males and white females. You know what I'm saying? I got you, bro. But listen, guys, I just want you to just see that it's not about being a victim. All right, it's not about the defeatism shit. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you right now. Those of you who want to accept this as reality, either you will win as a man or a woman standing this thing that we're up against. And I'm talking about this thing on both a religious, economic, and a social platform. All right. If you want to win, all you have to do is believe. It's really that simple. All you have to do is believe. I mean, for instance, those of you who are actually not bedridden, you believe that you could get up and get out of bed today. Most of you didn't even give it a second thought. It's second nature. Boom, boom, out, doing your thing. What about those brothers and sisters out here who do not believe they can get out of bed? And they don't. They don't. That's the same thing with this political thing. Those of us who get it and understand, look, for one, there is a huge misunderstanding between being a victim and like, oh my God, I want you to give me everything, blah, 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 blah. Because the reality is no one's going to give you anything to help you and your children compete with their children. If you think they will, you're a fucking fool. You really are. That's why it's so important to have laws on a Republican basis, not a democracy, but a republic. This is the difference. On a republic, I don't care how evil your kids are or you are. I don't care how fucking money hoarding or resource hoarding you are. As long as I can find a stream or a way to get what I need, you cannot come and fuck with me. You cannot come and basically take my shit, degrade me, blah, blah, blah. But if you're in a socialist or communist situation, that's not the case. Don't forget, you own nothing. And I mean, in socialism, you definitely do not own the land. Communism, damn near, you don't even own your body. The very vessel that you possess, you do not own. The state owns it. The state is everything. I am not a true anarchist. I understand the state does have a function or a role to play, especially in a highly organized human society. That being said, I also understand the state should have a check on it or a balance. You see, back in the old days, the balance used to be the power of the purse. You know, the legislator could make whatever law, the executive could sign said bill into law, and then the judicial system could ultimately, you know, judge the the guilty party or the defendants under the law. And then there was a fourth part. The citizen could decide, okay, well, you guys are too much out of control. I'm pulling my purse or I'm pulling my money out of this entity. That was the power of the purse. We don't have that no more. We don't. As the common citizen, your purse means absolutely shit. Because as long as any conglomerate or corporation or group of folks who pull their money together and give to any candidate any billions, millions of dollars, it doesn't matter, because money is an act of freedom of speech, apparently, which I don't get. Because if money was truly an act or a example of freedom of speech, then the people who are writing the speech, which are the notes or the currency, should be the U.S. Mint, the United States Mint, not the Federal Reserve. Because unfortunately, guys, the Federal Reserve is not the United States government, nor has it ever been, nor has it will ever shall be. We have to get those folks out, have our government print the money, have it appointed, I guess, basically new folks who would do the same capacity as the chairman and the board of directors on the Federal Reserve as far as setting interest rates. And this is where it gets blurry as far as capitalism, socialism, communism. Because underneath this model, because of the way the mindsets of the people are today, you will also have to put in pricing regulation, meaning that a pack of bubble gum, like underneath a true free economy, capitalist society, economy, you could be like, a pack of bubble gum's $10. Next guy sells it for $5, and then you let the market decide. Well, we already know that's the base, because we have all had fucked up indoctrination. Therefore, it would be necessary to be like, a pack of bubble gum has to be only 45 cents. You cannot sell it for more than 45 cents. If you do, you go to jail. That's violation. And that keeps the economy in check. I'm just using this, of course, it would have to be across the board on many different items so that you don't have runaway inflation. Just like you have a minimum wage, you have a maximum sell. You cannot sell it for more than that. It has to be this to ensure the stability of the overall economy. See, when I used to do a lot of selling, I saw a phenomenon that would happen. Let's say this event happens for 3 days. The first night, everything goes at normal price. Second night, few discounts here and there. Third night, rock bottom slashing to try to get that shit so you don't take it back home. That's unsustainable. Because if I was the guy that bought the shit on the first night, I'd be highly upset this motherfucker buying on the third night is getting all this and extra. We should be past this naive concept or thought that in some way a market would take. No, the market came into existence through the need for human consumption. The market should stay in existence through human logical thinking, rational thinking, proper profit margins, and on the flip side, it would also minimize loss potential as well. See, right now, folks, we're under attack economically by various different countries. And most of us, and I'm not even, I'm so glad the audience here aren't stupid. You guys are fucking on it. You know what I'm talking about, and you know the issues. I love that. But if we don't ring this economy in that ties us and binds us all, then we're doomed, man. China already took over Hollywood. That's why you have all these movies coming out. Oh, the Chinese central, government, not the U.S. government or any other government. The Chinese government's going to save the planet. They're going to save us all. And that's going to be the mantra coming out over the next few years. You watch. They're going to start subtly putting this stuff in. Because we are under attack. We've been under attack. And let's be clear on this. The attack I'm talking about did not start at Plymouth Rock. The attack I'm talking about did not start with the crucifying of Jesus. The attack I'm talking about didn't occur anytime in a distant past. This is human fucking nature. You take, you consume, you hoard. And then once you die, what's it called? We have a name for it. It's called inheritance. You divvy out your loot to your offspring. Listen, guys, gals, and that's it. You ain't gonna get that blender gender bullshit here. I'm gonna go over a couple things. One, the world that you occupy, the world that you perceive to be real, is the world that you desire to be real because you believe in it and it manifests itself to be thus. Two, if you find that some way, somehow, for whatever reason, the life that you're living is not fulfilling or not satisfying, the answer always, 100%, not 99.9, but 100% lies within you and your ability to basically see the world in a different light. Because for one, no one's going to break their back and make it any easier for you. They're not. I'm going to be the guy that tells you like it is. They're not. For two, only through critical thinking and realizing what is the benefit to you can you progress. And a lot of us, that's where we're getting tied up. I don't want to think about I don't want to think about how my actions has either ensured my poverty or ensured my wealth. Most people don't think like that. They think on a linear way. They went to college, they went to high school, then they go to college, then they go to fucking internship, and then they get the job they want. It's a linear progression, but for the overwhelming majority of folks out there that hears this and then later replay it, it does not work for you guys. What works for you, honestly, is having a business strategy. And when I say business, I mean your lifehold needs should be conducted as if you were running a business. Most of you guys, you have a great job. That's awesome. And I'm not poo-pooing that. I'm really happy for you. Especially if you have a great paying job, you're actually able to save in addition to your 401k or any other, pension services or plans offered by your. I'm happy for you. But unfortunately, many of my brothers and sisters, fellow citizens, do not have that. They're going to end up getting old. And then when they hit that day of reckoning, when they realize they have all the mental knowledge, all the mental, even mental drive, they just lack the physical ability to get out there and do that. That's when it hurts. If we're a society that forsakes our young and forsakes our old, I tell you, but the only thing that you deserve and you will get is total annihilation and destruction. If you want to change this, though, let's change the way we conduct ourselves. Let's change the way we think about the world. But more importantly, let's change the way we think about our nation and the way we interact amongst each other. To be a U.S. citizen should mean something. It should mean that you are afforded all the rights and privileges of the Constitution. Because why? You, as a U.S. citizen, are willing to die. Let that sink in. Not live, but you're willing to die to uphold the freedoms and privileges of the Constitution so that it can be inherited by the next generation. That's what every citizen, not just service members, but every citizen should have in his or her heart. Not that you should dwell on it constantly, but it should be in there to refer to. So then when we start seeing this trickery and buffoonery on a federal level, we can identify it as an attack on our rights and our shared privileges. And that's another thing we have to address. We have to really have a conversation about how the application of the law has been administered to the citizenship or citizenry, all the citizens of the United States, because we all know, and I'm going to be the one to tell you, racism's real. And that's right here when you talk about laws and how to deal with the breakers of laws. That's when racism comes right to the forefront. You can make whatever laws you want, but when you're a black guy in federal court looking at an all-white jury in a town hundreds of miles away from your town, then I think you probably understand what I'm talking about. Because don't forget, kiddos, if you are convicted of a crime and you enter the penal system, you're no longer a citizen. For all intents and purposes, you're a slave. And I don't want to see people go into slavery. I don't. Because you deserve better than that. You are better than that. So, I know this is a short broadcast. There's a lot of things going on right now. I just want to throw this out there. December 7th, Judge Joe Brown on the Other Morning Show. I'm working with getting other folks to participate in the same broadcast, but definitely Judge Joe Brown is guaranteed to be on that show. I'm getting more t-shirts and other, I guess, contraband of the show together. And we're going to start doing that again as well. So, there's some great things going on. But honestly, folks, I just want to tell you this like this. In the Bible, it tells us the Antichrist will come and have dominion over all nations and tongues. You might not believe me. You might think I'm full of shit, whatever. But the reality is there will be one world government. You can fight it, you can kick, you can cry, you can scream. It does not matter. There will be one world government on this planet. And it will not be in the distant future. Thank you all. This has been The Other Morning Show. I'm TruePowerIsMine. Peace.